Walk with the less fortunate in the state of Oklahoma and change someone's life for the better. And we know we can do it when we engage these groups across the state.
Tonight, we are digging into the state's new Office of Faith-Based Initiatives.
According to Governor Kevin Stitt, it will serve as a hub for churches and faith-based nonprofits to connect with Oklahomans in need of assistance. Fox 25's Katie Arata walks us through what the governor hopes this will achieve.
State officials say the Oklahoma Office of Faith-Based Initiatives is the result of a collective vision that will work to build bridges between state governments and local organizations to better support families in need.
This office is going to be a clearinghouse for churches and organizations to connect with those that need some help.
Governor Stitt says the Office of Faith-Based Initiative is not meant to be just another government program.
We wanted the government to be able to share and to be able to organize and bring these groups together. Because at the end of the day, it's about neighbors walking with neighbors that are going to fix these problems, not another government program.
Representative A.J. Pittman wrote legislation to create the office that she says recognizes the vital role faith-based organizations play in uplifting and strengthening the communities they serve.
We know that the churches already have the infrastructure, they already have the resources, and they already have the relationships. It's a way for our churches and our government to partner to take care of our communities.
Pittman says any churches and faith-based nonprofits in the state have the option to work with the office, but are not required to.
This just gives them an extension of the state arm to say these resources are here and available for you to take advantage of, and you can opt into being a part of this process and getting these resources.
We're agnostic to the groups. We're just trying to invite those different neighbors.
For more information on the new state office, go to our website, okcfox.com. Reporting from the state capitol, Katie Arata, Fox 25 News.
The idea for this Office of Faith-Based and Community Initiative stems from House Bill 3840. It passed with big bipartisan support in the House last session, stalled in the Senate. We've got a breakdown of what that bill looked like. The office would have been tasked with organization and coordinating activities to help create public support through volunteering and special projects. The office also would have been charged with presenting ideas and policy options to the governor that would have helped strengthen and expand those successful initiatives. The measure would have also allowed the OFBCI to partner with a nonprofit organization that met certain conditions to help carry out its purposes. Now, while the bill didn't make it to the finish line, the governor still created this bill through DHS, and he said it'll bring together 5 state agencies that oversee corrections, health, mental health and substance abuse, human services, and juvenile affairs. However, it's important to note the governor did not say how the office would be funded or staffed.
A website is already up and running for the Oklahoma Office of Faith-Based and Community Initiatives. There's a section on the site dedicated to the Be a Neighbor campaign, which was launched in conjunction with the new office. It gives you access to local nonprofits, tribes, faith-based groups, and community organizations. You can see there are several tabs in this section, one of which is called Fatherhood. This has been one of the governor's focuses in recent years. Earlier today, he posted on social media, "We're facing a crisis of fatherlessness in America." According to Stitt, 71% of those who drop out of high school and 66% of juveniles in state custody experienced fatherlessness. The governor believes this can be changed by prioritizing fatherhood and supporting strong families. Stitt also spoke at the Fatherhood Summit earlier this year, telling Oklahomans being a parent isn't a responsibility anyone should take lightly.
If I make the wrong decisions tomorrow and I cheat on my wife and I ended up getting a divorce and make bad decisions and get into drugs, I could be right here. There's people that have gone from the White House chief of staff to prison. And there's people that are in prison that have gone to the White House chief of staff. So it is good decisions from now every single day that we have to make, whether you're governor or whether you're coming out of incarceration. You can do it.
The governor's goal of reducing recidivism also played a role in this initiative.
There's 5,000 fewer people incarcerated in the state of Oklahoma right now than there were 6 years ago. It's a huge deal. We've closed 4 prisons, and now we are number 2 in the entire country in the lowest recidivism rate because of some of the programs that we're doing. It's amazing.
Over the last few years, Oklahoma has approved several criminal justice initiatives designed to improve sentencing practices and reduce reincarceration rates. This includes State Question 780 and 781, which raised the felony larceny threshold and lowered certain drug possession offenses. Now, this is a look at the breakdown of recidivism rates published back in 2022 by the Nolan Center for Justice. You can see that time, the recidivism rate for those included in the governor's mass commutation docket was 4%. Now, the state's overall rate was 19%, while the average rate for the U.S. was 43%. The governor believes resources this office will provide will be able to help lower the recidivism rate and keep families together.
Food insecurity, another issue the Be a Good Neighbor campaign aims to address. According to Hunger Free Oklahoma, more than 15% of households are food insecure. Oklahoma, only one of 7 states that has a food insecurity rate higher than 13.5%. The organization also found more than 1 in 4 Oklahoma children don't get the food they need, and 79% of SNAP participants are children, elderly, or disabled. Hunger costs Oklahoma more than $1 billion every year just through increased illness and decreased academic achievement. Take a look at the campaign's website. You can see it's designed to put the information for all the local nonprofits and faith-based groups all in one place. You click Find Now, select your county from the drop-down menu. Then you can select Food to find the resources designed to address food insecurity in your area. This will create a list of options and where they're located on the map. It also lets you download the results.
Our foster care numbers have been declining following a spike in 2020. Take a look at this chart from the Kids Count Data Center. 12,084 kids were in foster care in 2021. That dropped to 11,215. Then in 2022, it declined again to just under 10,700. According to the governor, that trend is continuing.
We've worked hard to improve outcomes for children in our DHS system, and today there are 3,500 fewer kids in foster care today than there were 6 years ago. Amazing.
Foster care and adoption are also included on the Be a Neighbor platform. It directs Oklahomans to okfosters.org, where they can see human services resources. Here, it'll also show you there's more than 5,900 kids currently in state custody, and more than 700 foster families are needed. Also breaks down the requirements for becoming a foster parent, the training requirements, and the community partners that are available. While Governor Stitt says Oklahoma is benefiting from its pro-family policy, some with the Institute for Child Advocacy say there's room for improvement.
Fox 25's David Chasanoff spoke with a representative from the Institute today. David, what do they say would be the best way to help kids in Oklahoma?
Joe Dorman tells me it's going to take a team effort between the state and nonprofits. Adam and Wendy, he has the data to back that up.
With our childhood outcomes, Oklahoma truly is suffering. We can't have a mission accomplished banner hanging on this. We've got a long ways to go in ensuring that kids receive the supports that they need.
OICA CEO Joe Dorman says Oklahoma is a top 10 state when it comes to children having adverse childhood experiences. This means kids have faced things like abuse, neglect, or family members being incarcerated.
When you look at multiple factors, Oklahoma usually 3, 4 of the 10 were #1 in the nation.
This year's Kids Count survey ranked Oklahoma 46th in overall child well-being, 49th in education, and 45th in health, among other categories.
Oklahoma consistently is ranked there in the lower 40, and it's something that we really need to address.
Dorman says the Sooner State needs a team effort to turn this situation around, starting with lawmakers making sure resources are available.
The services that have been offered by the government, they can't just come in and say we're cutting these services and passing the buck onto the nonprofits, because that's where we're going to see children fall into an even worse situation.
While donations have been down this year, Dorman says nonprofits could also do their part,
doing the work that they can do, directing much of this, because they truly are closer to the people.
He believes businesses can help out too.
Corporations and local businesses really need to offer the support they can, as these are their employees.
The OICA will have a conference this month where they're going to be discussing what policies should be considered at the next legislative session. Reporting in studio, David Chasanoff, Fox 25 News.
David, thank you. The state has already started collaborating with faith partners. Back in October, the Oklahoma Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services offered a free training series. It was designed to give clergy and pastoral care workers the knowledge and skills needed to respond to mental health issues and addiction within their congregations. The agency went over the impact addiction can have on families and how to create supportive recovery and prevention activities. We've heard a lot about churches being involved. State Rep A.J. Pittman says churches have the infrastructure and relationships that'll help provide the resources the community needs. However, the governor hopes other faith-based organizations will get involved as well.
You know, our Supreme Court has been very clear that if there's a program or a service that a state's going to offer, that you can't discriminate based on a religious organization. And so to me, this is just pretty common sense. If we've got OJA, so Tim is here, so kids that are adjudicated from the court when they're re-entering back into society, we want to try to connect them with any organization that wants to sign up, whether it's our churches or it's just a nonprofit that wants to walk with those kids. But we're agnostic to the groups. We're just trying to invite those different neighbors because we need help with the reentry, we need help with the drug addictions, we need help with the kids aging out of foster care, we need more foster families. And so by engaging Oklahomans is what we're talking about here.
The governor says this isn't a political issue. It's about ensuring there are resources available to Oklahomans who need them. And that was your big story breakdown tonight. You can learn more about the Office of Faith-Based and Community Initiatives on OKCFox.com.
Don't forget to check out all the big story breakdowns on our YouTube channel. Scan the QR code on your screen or search OKC Fox.